In Uncle Harry's section, I have a picture of me and him in a red wagon. And this is the dress I wore. We were in a parade. And the computer skipped it and I can't get it to go back. But we were in that little famous red wagon. And I wore this, and there was a look on the red wagon was all decorated in yellow crepe paper. And it had a sign on it, "Come to the 24th of July dance." There were always dances in Oakley. Anyway, my time is pretty well gone. Keep moving on here. Luann and I were some of the very first people in Oakley, Idaho to get the new Tony Home perms.
Oh,
See that?
oh my.
We were so proud of those. I remember driving to Jerome to our cousin's house, the Moys and the Griffiths, and one of our cousins had access to real perms and had all the equipment. So we stayed there all day, and Luann and I got perms, and Mom and Aunt Eula got perms, and we all just went home looking wonderful. And then I gotta tell you about this barnyard. When we moved out of the rock house and into the Grandpa Matthew's house that he gave to Mom for taking care of him, we moved when I was between kindergarten age and first grade. Mom sent me to school when I was 5, and I went one day and the teacher sent a note back and said she's not ready. And I was too tired from being there all day to even ask what it said. She told me the next day that was my last day of school till next year. So between that year and the next year when I started school, we moved to Grandpa Matthew's house. And he had given Mom, he had died a year before and given Mom 20 acres in this white house that he built. And it's on the highway between Burley and Oakley, closer to Oakley, pretty close to the Clark's house. Anyway, can you see the chicken in the backyard? You see the little chicken? We have chickens. Tag and Dave, we have chickens. And we have this cousin that was in the picture with us. His name was John Dewey Hale. He was Ann Arthur Hale's only son. And he was Luann's age, had a brilliant mind. In his home, in the basement, was a chemistry lab that he used all the time. And he said to us one day, let's go put the chickens to sleep. You ever tried to put chickens to sleep? It didn't work. We said, what? And he said, you can't put chickens to sleep. And he said, oh, I'll show you how. So there's a chicken right there. They had a free access between that fence and the next fence that was probably 100 feet maybe away, and a gate, and a chicken coop behind that, and a big granary there where we kept all our food. Okay, so we sneak up behind the chicken. Well, first we put grain all over the ground, spray it all over the ground for the chickens. So the chickens come and they're starting to eat while their heads are down. We quietly slip up behind them and grab them and put them in our hands like this. You tuck their head under one wing, like this, and then you rock them for a minute, and they're sound asleep. So then very quietly, you set them on the ground. Well, we did this to the whole bunch of chickens. We probably had 30 chickens all over the ground sound asleep. And just about that time, Mom pulled up, coming home from work. She worked with the mud, but she usually came home at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So she comes driving in the back driveway. There was a lane on the left side of the house. She comes driving in there, pulls the car up and sees all these chickens on the ground. She thinks they're dead. They were so still. Poor Mom just about had cardiac arrest. But all you had to do was just go up and tap them with your toe, and then their head would pop out and they'd be up jumping around. So we started to wake them up, but poor Mom will never get over that. She thought that was the end of her chickens. Now you know, Tag and Gage, you know how to put chickens to sleep, okay? During that time, this was 1956, I think, the Oakley Stake, which is the Oakley Stake now, built a new building, and President McKay came to dedicate it. Everybody from Magic Valley came. There were people from Twin, wards full, buses full of people from Twin Falls and Burley, all the communities in between. The building was crowded, which we anticipated, so Luann and I and Uncle Harry, can you see us? I circled our faces and put our names up there. We decided to sing in the choir, and somebody, probably against the rules, took a picture of the prophet speaking and in that choir. That was really a major day in our lives, seeing the prophet and being that close to him. But I remember sitting up in that chair watching him come in, and he didn't just come in with 2 or 3 fellows around him. He probably had 20 children gathering around him, and I felt so sorry for him. He was just overwhelmed with people, trying to get at him. But anyway, that was a highlight of my life, and Luann's, and Uncle Harrison. Luann and I used to do a lot of performing together for different things. This was a talent show we performed in. And actually, this was her idea. And I'm not sure I went for it too much, but I did cooperate. When you're the youngest, you do what you're told. And we had this old sheet music that Grandma had given us, that her daughters, who actually were teenagers in the 1920s, and they had this music. So she gave us one of the songs we had that Luann really liked was "Washing Dishes with My Sweetie at the Kitchen Sink." You want me to sing it for you?
Yes.
Well, kind of went like this. Washing dishes with my sweetie at the kitchen sink, Oh gosh, I get so excited, I can hardly think. I give them out full of soap suds, but they taste good to me. I can't even keep it in anymore.
As long as my sweetie
Mom washing, I can sing it with me.
Doing the dishes with me.
Oh, there's no moonlight for us tonight. I'll tell you, loving near the other. When there's dishes to do, we do things that we have learned. We hold hands underneath the water, washing dishes with my sweetie.
At the kitchen sink.
I didn't know you could do that. Anyway, and then we did this, we have these. Oh, did he?
Doing that, yeah.
Oh, I didn't remember that. Ah, well, the man still loved it. I thought it was pretty wholesome, but we got a lot of compliments on it. And we have the dish pan straight from our kitchen on the table with dishes, and she was pretending to wash the dishes. And then notice we each have a broom there. We took the brooms and we started to dance. And she had choreographed this little dance with Charleston steps, you know. And anyway, that was one that we did. I was excited that yeah. At one point we grabbed the brooms and slapped their faces like this. Oh man. Anyway, several times we sang the song Sisters. You know Sisters? There were never such devoted sisters. And then when it came to, when a certain gentleman arrived from Rome, she made me say, I wore the dress so she could say, and I stayed home. I said, no, it's usually the other way around. She usually wore the dress and I stayed home. Anyway, we did a lot of singing. I remember singing a song in Silent Lady called I Have a Testimony, Sacred and Dear to Me. That was special. And anyway, there they was, happily married, lived happily ever after. And then there's me. There's me in the little red wagon. It must have been spring. I was born in December, so it must have been spring. Probably my first trip outside. Oh, there it is. There is the yellow dress with Harrison pulling the wagon. Can you see that? Mother added more. There was already yellow ribbon around the bottom. Mother added more because it wasn't quite long enough. I don't know where the dress came from. I had never seen it before, and it's well worn. I only wore it once. Anyway, we were in this parade, and it said, please come out. The sign on the wagon says, please be sure to come to the dance. And there were always dances. And we were going around the corner, and the wagon tipped over. Of course, I sprawled down on the ground, I cried. And Harrison was so sweet, he was trying to help me. Right here, when the picture was taken, he kept saying to me, Jeanette, look, we're taking our picture. Well, I was looking everywhere I could to my left. And then whoever was taking the picture was on the right. Anyway, the story of my life.